Hi, everybody. I'm just going to be giving you a little bit more information about this last week of classes and your final projects. As you can see, we are actually winding down here. I'm on the home page for our class and highlighting the elements that you have already completed and will be completing for this week and next. Your mini lessons look great. I've graded the ones I've received. I hope that you have seen the comments that I've made for you. Please let me know if you have any questions about this. Now, you will also be responding to your peers about this, and I will take a look at your peer responses a little bit later in the discussion area. Plus, you're going to be completing 2 short essays as a way to kind of highlight your work. These are elements that you will be concluding in your portfolio. The lit philosophy will be a part of your comprehensive philosophy that you'll include in your portfolio when you go into student teaching. And your pedagogy reflection essay will go into your portfolio. You also will be uploading that to live text. So I thought I would talk a little bit more about each of those. So here are the prompts for those. I'm hoping that they are clear. For your literature philosophy, you're going to talk first about your axiology, what you value in a piece of literature, and I've put some questions there to kind of guide how you might respond to that. You only really need to write a paragraph about each of these areas. And then you're going to want to also think about that idea of reading process. We've talked a little bit about that and this idea of close reading, which you clearly know a lot about now because your mini lessons look so great. And I've included some questions there to help you as well with this idea of process or procedure. And then the third element is the one, of course, that we're most familiar with, pedagogy, the kind of teaching methods you might want to implement to meet your goals, your axiology, your process. And then you want to think about your learning styles. The students that you will be teaching are going to have a variety of learning styles and abilities, etc. So you need to think about epistemology, which you know from our class has to do with how students come to gain knowledge or learn. So those are the 4 areas. I don't want this to be long. I say no more than 2 pages double-spaced or a page single-spaced. Really just a paragraph for each of those areas will give us a real sense of your philosophy, and it'll be a way for you to connect with each of the other methods courses for your comprehensive philosophy. The other assignment, as I've mentioned, is that pedagogy reflection essay is going to be a little more artificial this time because you obviously are not having the clinical experiences that you would have if we weren't on the stay-at-home order. So if you may notice at the end there are reminders on the prompt. I want to highlight those first. These don't have to be inspired by your clinical experiences that you've had this semester or any others really. So please first highlight clinical experiences you've had in the past, and then you want to reflect upon how you might actually address each of the different areas for the pedagogy essay in your future classroom. So it doesn't necessarily need to be just in response to your previous experiences. It can also be related to your own reflections on your beliefs about what will make a successful classroom. And I think if most of you have written one of these before, so you kind of know the areas you'll be highlighting, you want to stress literature instruction as much as possible. But again, this can be very, very brief. Again, maybe a paragraph for each of the areas. Begin with a little overview of your experiences in the past in the classroom. If you've had any, if you have not had experiences, talk about the kind of experiences you might want to have. think about the best practices for a learning environment, how one might address cultural diversity, in which we've talked about quite a bit this semester. And then you're going to want to talk about instructional planning and professional development, critical thinking and real world cultural societal connections, ways you might bring in different curricular connections. That might connect with beyond the language arts, those different threads, history, social sciences. I mean, you can bring in lots of different disciplines to really, I think, highlight and amplify the literature that you're teaching. And then you also want to talk about how you might approach professional reflection, growth, and your own reflection as a teacher when you're thinking about how you might want to take any of the experiences you've had and apply them in your own classroom. But a paragraph for each of those areas. Keep it short, keep it simple, and do the same thing for that philosophy. And that you can actually include both in the Dropbox and with the pedagogy essay, you'll include that in live text if you're going to be pursuing a teaching career. The last thing is the literature unit revision, and I have provided you with comments. Put those in Dropbox. But if you have any questions about how you're going to revise your literature unit, that's all you'll be including in your portfolio. Please do let me know. You can text me, you can email me, we can have a Zoom session. I'm very happy to answer any questions that you have about that. And you will be including that in live text. And don't forget to add your argument essay at the beginning as part of your literature unit rationale right before the front matter. So you'll have your argument paper, your literature unit together as one document that you add to live text. And then the last thing you're doing is a portfolio reflection. It is in the quiz section again, just as a way to put it somewhere. And that will be your final. So your final exam is that revision of your literature unit. I've got it due by Thursday at 5, but if you have any problems, let me know. We can work with you in whatever way we can to get you through this. It's been a delight having you in class, and I look forward to hearing any comments or questions that you have. And I hope that you are all well and this semester is going to work out for you as well. Thank you very much.